All right, welcome everyone to another Mountain Man Monday live stream. Episode number 23 for today is April 13th, 2020. Hope everybody's had a great start to their week and a nice Monday so far. So we'll get it rolling here in a few minutes as people begin to roll in on this nicer spring day than what was last night here in the mountains, because we had some crazy strong thunderstorms that rolled in the middle of the night, and that was something else. So it's a much nicer day today, and happy for that. A beautiful spring day. We've got Marvin Carl. Marvin, you are number one tonight, and welcome to the live stream. Hello, Blondie's Adventure. We've got Martin here. We've got Blondie. We've got Elamar Collins, hello to you too. We've got Tracy, and hello to everyone as well. Hope your guys are all having a nice start to your week. And we got all of our regulars rolling in here, and it's nice to see you all. I hope everybody is having a great day so far. And as you can see over my shoulder, it is a nice day here in the mountains today. We have Sexy Matt has rolled in here as well. Always great to have you here, Matt, and hope you are doing well. And instead of me calling you Elamar Collins, I have to remember, Lily, it is great to have you here as always. Nice to see you. And so everybody is saying hello. What a friendly group we always have here in the Mountain Man live stream. Yeah, so last night here in the mountains, and if you are any of you that are in this part of the country, we had a really strong set of thunderstorms rolling here, starting at about midnight or 1 o'clock, and they went till about 5 or 6 this morning, and they were loud. I used to live in Central Florida and have lived through hurricanes, and I'll tell you, the wind gusts and the type of storms I heard last night were reminiscent of some of the Category 1 and 2 hurricanes that I have been through. It was some really strong winds. I didn't ever see any tornado warnings or anything like that for this area. It was just really strong wind and thunderstorms. So yeah, anyway, that gave through to some beautiful weather today, and for like the next 4 or 5 days. So kind of typical spring weather right now, as long as it's not too dangerous for folks, because I know sometimes this weather can produce tornadoes when you have that hot and cold coming together in the spring and in the fall. And so hopefully everybody was safe. And I'm happy that other than a few sticks and trees and limbs and stuff like that, everything was fine. Let's see. Hello. We have Rita in here as well. Hello to you. Rita is a great supporter of the channel. And so is Blondie, as always, saying kindly for everybody, if you feel like it, to hit the thumbs up, and I really appreciate that. Let's see who else we have. Foxy Wolf. We got Foxy Wolf here tonight. And Foxy, I never really looked at you. See, this is a cool thing I've said before, is this application allows me to see the avatars for people's account a lot better than I normally can. And that's a pretty cool one with all the, obviously with the wolf, the different pictures they have in there. So that's pretty cool. I like that. Yeah, so what else has been going on? I hope everybody had a nice Easter Sunday. It was overcast here as far as the weather, and we obviously couldn't go anywhere, but the family had a nice time, a nice family day. We had a good time together, good food. Easter Bunny visited the house as well. So it was just nice to be together as a family here at the house and enjoy kind of a quiet day, as I think holidays are best served sometimes just to tone it down a notch. Although there's been plenty of that recently, right? Like some folks are probably getting cabin fever to the max. Although I will say that at least for myself, I've had no shortage of projects to do around the house. And between spring coming and typical landscaping and refreshing of things like mulch and getting ready to cut the grass and fertilizing and all that stuff, painting and car work and things that are broken and all kinds of stuff. Again, my list of things to do is no shortage. So I'm taking advantage of this unfortunate situation where we can't always do what we want to do, and spending it getting some things done that needed to be done anyway. So let's see here. We got Rita saying rained all day here in Nashville. Today was it, or yesterday, Rita? Today it was beautiful. So maybe we don't have any rain in the forecast here in Western North Carolina, I think, until next weekend. So at this point, the little rain meter out in the yard, we got 2.5 inches overnight. So it was quite a bit. So that's got to last us for the week. Finally see the sun shining in Northwest Ohio right now. Tracy, forgive me if I forget the conversation, but yeah, growing up, I spent a bit of time up in that, a little bit past the northwest corner. I'm sorry, I'm confused, northeast, northwest. Although I've spent time in the northwest up there too, because I've been up in, it's more north central, like Huron, Sandusky, Put-in-Bay. Of course, I've been to Toledo and area like that before. Up there, what is it, Route 3 that runs along the Lake Erie up there. Been up there before. Thank you. Happy Easter to you and your family, Mr. Mountain, and to you as well, and to everybody here. Again, I hope everybody did have a happy Easter yesterday. And Tracy mentioned, yes, up by Lima, Ohio. And so, yeah, that, April, I grew up in Central Ohio. So April was hit or miss in Ohio. My favorite month in Ohio is June, because June was always typically all the rain from April and May started to subside. The grass is super green. It's not blazing hot yet. Haven't gotten into like the deep droughts of the summer or anything like that in July and August. And I enjoyed the fall too, but June in more recent time, I've enjoyed Ohio is nice that time of the year. And Ohio is an interesting place because there are a lot of hidden gems there. Like a lot of people don't know about, Put-in-Bay and some of the islands out in Lake Erie in the summertime are great mecca of entertainment and music and wineries and places to see and boating and beaches. There's a whole lot of stuff that a lot of people in Ohio, maybe Northern Ohio, know about, but maybe in Central and Southern Ohio, everybody automatically thinks Myrtle Beach or Florida, and those places are wonderful too. But Ohio, believe it or not, in just their backyard has some really cool places to go. And so if folks haven't checked that out, those are some really cool places. You can take the Jet Express from Sandusky and from Port Clinton, Ohio, up to Put-in-Bay. And, there's during the day, there's, a carousel, an arcade. And I think there used to be maybe mini golf and golfing and resorts. And then at night, there's nightlife and bars and clubs and great places to eat. So there's something for everybody, depending on what people like. But that's really just in, I think, June, July, and August. Those are really good places to check out. Tornadoes last week and today in my county in South Georgia. Yeah, Foxy Wolf, South Georgia. It was interesting because when I lived in Central Florida and I'd take I-95 north, it was almost like the minute I hit the border at Georgia, Florida, you drop like 10 or 15 degrees because I don't know what it was. Maybe that's how they created the state lines back in the day where the temperature changed. But because of that, I think I wouldn't be surprised you got to get that hot, cold, and then you get some of that turbulent weather that's tough. So hope everything's okay in your neck of the woods. And again, hopefully we'll get through that soon and then just be into the thick of summer. So it'll be hot, but at least we won't have that hot, cold stuff. Got 51 here today. It's supposed to drop in 30s tonight. Yeah, Rita, we are also having a cold front. So 2 weeks ago, it was 90 when I was in the car on a Saturday in Asheville. And then I think tomorrow night or tonight it's supposed to be in the 30s as well. So crazy weather right now. This is the kind of weather, sans the big event going on with the virus. I mean, you can just get a cold or a flu anytime, anyway, this time of the year. So it's crazy because one day you can wear shorts and the next day you can't. So it's kind of nuts. It's been sketchy in here in Ohio lately. You either have lots of rain, which is not good for our farmers, or we have no rain. It's one extreme to the other. Yeah, Tracy, I know in Ohio, a lot of soybean and corn, and the farmers there. And you're right, feast or famine. You know, it's either way too much and it floods it out. Last time I was up last June going to northern Ohio, not Lima, but like north central, like Sandusky, Huron area. The day we went up, it was so bad that the roads were flooded and they had to close them on the way up through like Norwalk and some of that area. I'd never seen that before, kind of out in rural areas. So yeah, you know, just like you said. But again, we're going to get some nice weather here in the mountains, and they are starting to look absolutely beautiful. So your Mr. Mountain Man weather report in the mountains is that the mountains are beginning to bloom. The trees are in full bloom. We're a little bit past the Bradford pears with their white blooms. That's usually in March, so that's kind of past. But a lot of the different trees and different types of maples and with their red leaves and stuff, a lot of the different trees are starting to bloom. So it's getting really nice here in the mountains, and hopefully where you all are as well. So yeah, just been a bit limited on where we can go. You know, one of the things I was talking about last week too was the Blue Ridge Parkway, which for those of you, I'm sure every one of you have heard of it and many of you have been on it, but it goes from, I think Shenandoah National Park in Virginia is the start, and it finishes up in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park in Tennessee. The two sections that are closed are the two bookends, which are the like 15 miles up by Shenandoah National Park and like the 15 miles down by Great Smoky Mountains National Park, due to those national parks being closed. But everything in the middle is kind of open still. And I noticed somebody said here, video is getting clear now, start off a little blurry. Good. Going on a little tangent here. I figured out why last week we had problems with my video. So because I have that fantastic mountain internet I always talk about, that's not very good on the upload speed. It's very sensitive to other use in the house. So when I do my live stream, I have everybody shut their devices down and get off the Wi-Fi. Well, it turns out last week that some of the family was watching Disney Plus, and they didn't put two and two together that was streaming and taking up bandwidth. So when I was done, I knew exactly why the video was blurry. Yeah, I should have everything locked down today. Not 100% sure why it started off like that, but hopefully it's clear and nice and the audio is good. I can never tell because I get feedback on the screen of my video, which looks like, you know, 4K high def, but I know that's not what it translates for you all. And like Sexy Matt say, Mr. Mountain Man weather report brought to you by, yeah, I should do that. I should do that. So finishing up what I was talking about, the Blue Ridge Parkway, one of the problems that there have been is that, you know, they're trying to prevent promote social distancing and following the rules of the local governments. But we're getting a lot of people still that are coming from out of state. Like when I went on the Blue Ridge Parkway, there were license plates from New York and other places. The rule is right now, because we do have people that have mountain vacation homes, is that if you come into town from out of state, you are to self-quarantine for 2 weeks. And that includes not going to the grocery store. So county officials have said, if you are coming here to your vacation home, you need to prepare ahead of time to have food at your location, and because you're not to be going out to the store. Now, whether or not they can enforce that is a different issue. But to that end, the Blue Ridge Parkway, unfortunately, is still kind of heavily traveled. And I think there's a lot of people not yielding to, you know, the social distancing aspect. So one reporter, I read an article this morning, went out on a hike because they thought, you know, what better place to be. But unfortunately, it turned into kind of a nightmare because they started to get on those narrow paths on one of these hikes on the Blue Ridge Parkway. And, you know, people were coming by within 6 inches and runners were coming up behind and, you know, just passing by. And so it was difficult because they couldn't adhere to those practices. Also, in this article, it was in the Citizen Times from Asheville. There were like trash cans overflowing, Bojangles garbage flowing out of them. So people have cabin fever and want to get out. I think driving along the Blue Ridge Parkway is great. Coming to some of the pullouts and taking a picture and staying distance, The hikes are a little bit different. They said there's some illegal camping in like Pisgah National Forest. So there's a lot of people kind of loosely following the rules. I don't know if it ever gets so bad they have to shut down the parkway. But right now it's kind of hit or miss about trying to be able to keep 6 feet apart from the folks where they are when you go on the parkway. So there are things that I can still do. I've contemplated on a nice weather day doing another motorcycle ride. Obviously, I don't get out and hike, and if I pull over, I pretty much just taking pictures, not eating, not doing anything else. So, maintaining, proper following of the restrictions when going up there and not, forgetting where I am. But it's a shame to see some folks coming from out of state still going on vacation. It's all good for the economy, but just not right now, because for the greater good to not spread that stuff for people. Tracy said they're calling for snow mixture on Friday here. Crazy. Yeah. I saw that, Tracy, because I looked at a weather report in Central Ohio today. I was just looking at stuff and I saw that too. The mountains here at the higher elevations, like above 5,000 feet, like Pisgah and Mount Mitchell and such, are also supposed to get some wintry mix throughout the week as well. No one's Cherokee, North Carolina, driven start to finish many times. Oh, Cherokee, North Carolina. Yeah, pardon me. But that piece there, Foxy Wolf, is the part that you can't get on the Blue Ridge Parkway. The two bookends, the Shenandoah National Park and the part that gets at the end towards Great Smoky Mountains National Park, they've closed off. Not normally that stuff's open. Just talking about the because of COVID and what's going on right now, they have closed those two ends of the parkway, but everything in between is open right now. So that's what I was talking about. Flooded again in Gatlinburg. Yeah, Gatlinburg at that lower elevation, and the what is it? The Little Pigeon River, I believe, is what it's called. It seems prone to flooding. I've seen the videos on Yankee and the South channel and some of the others. And so that's another area. I'm not sure what needs to be done, but they get a hard rain. We too, you all don't know about it as much probably, but we have the French Broad River here. And that also floods. You're talking about 2,000 feet. So we have problems in the Western North Carolina and Asheville area with the French Broad River flooding. And there's a lot of housing and stuff at that lower elevation. So it can be problematic here too. We get a lot of flash flood warnings. Thankfully, I'm at a little bit of a higher elevation than at the French Broad River, so we don't have issue with that, thankfully. But there are others that do. So every time we get those hard rains, I keep an eye out and see, because sometimes we'll have road closures as well. And somebody had told me, I haven't done my due diligence on it, but the French Broad River is one of those few rivers that flows in the opposite direction. It does ultimately get all the way to the Mississippi through connecting through something else, but it flows the opposite way. I'll have to get my facts straight. Somebody was telling me one day some facts about the French Broad River, and there's a lot of history to it. So anyway, yeah, shame to see flooding happen anytime. Greetings from the Queen City. Looking forward to another wicked game of Hangman. Yeah, Ronald. So Queen City, unless I'm wrong, the trivia on my end, because I used to live in the Queen City, unless another city has that name, is Charlotte, North Carolina. Let me know if I'm not correct. And by the wicked game of Hangman, I think Ronald is referring to Cashew Paul's channel on YouTube that does Wednesday trivia via Hangman game, which is fun for the community. So check out Cashew Paul. I haven't seen Cashew Paul around here on the live streams in about a month. So, but I know he's doing well because I see him often in some of the other live streams. So yeah, but Ronald, let me know, Queen City, if my recollection is correct. NTL Vlogs did a live stream this morning from Pigeon Forge and show the flag there. Yeah, I had seen that as well, Marvin. I wasn't able to check into it because I was working. But yeah, it seems that is a common occurrence in Gatlinburg Pigeon Forge area. I know a lot of the videos we've seen from near the old mill, and also from downtown Gatlinburg right behind it. Rita says, blue must be your color. It makes you look like you have been in the sun. Well, nobody else has said anything. I look a little different because I can't get a haircut. I shaved my beard. I haven't, even though I wear a short beard, I haven't shaved this beard in like that short beard in, I don't know, 10 years. I just did it because no particular reason. It tends to make my face look a little whiter because it doesn't get the sun because of it. Nobody said anything, but because it's so short, maybe you didn't notice. Normally, I don't wear a very long, thick beard. But yeah, I shaved it. I just was like, whatever, I can't cut my hair, so I got to shave something. So get my face cleaned up a little bit. And I look different. I look weird. I look at myself. I'm like, who in the world is that? That does not look like me. I feel funny. But comments from the Peanut Gallery are welcome. So that's the first one. Did you cut your hair? No, I didn't cut my hair. My hair is still super duper long. It's hard to tell when it's slicked back, but yeah, so my face is what is different. And up look 30 now. Does that mean 30 years old? Is that what you're saying? Or like I said, I welcome any comments because my kids, they didn't like it. They were and grow back and you look different. So I don't know. Some people like clean shaven. I have no idea. I did it for years. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to remember, like, yeah, you know, I probably did it for like 10 years. And then I've had that short beard for, I'm trying to think, like 10, 15 years. So Rita said, I knew to do something different. Rita said, looks nice, but I like the beard. Yeah, I do too. Keeping it trimmed. I probably will just let it grow back and then trim it back up again to get it, you know, looking thick. But yes, so and Saxy put you, so you look 30 now. So yeah, that's the question. Do I look younger or older without the beard? That's what I'd be interested, since you guys are looking at this live stream every week. Rita said changes are always nice. This was just no thought put into it. I'm like, I haven't used this electric razor in a while. Let me see what it's like. And I honestly kind of did it too, just to kind of play with the kids, because I knew they would be like, what the heck are you doing? So I decided to do it just to see. Yeah, that's a little bit different. That's probably why some of y'all are saying that my face looks different, and it's white because it doesn't get any sun. So I have to remember to go out and actually, Rita says I look younger. Well, yeah, I think most people say that beards do add, or facial hair do add some years to folks. It just depends. The beard for me is not that much work because I use a short beard trimmer, and then I do use a razor to kind of trim it up and stuff like that every few days. I like it. It's always kind of been my look and the way I look. So, like I said, I might grow it back, but it's crazy because since nobody can really get a haircut, and I talked about this last week, you know, it's going to be like 70s hairstyles coming back, because I don't mind my top getting long, but I don't like the sides getting real puffy. So I'm going to have to, you know, try to keep it trimmed off the ears. My neck, you can't really see, is starting to get a little unwieldy there. So I have to get it trimmed up. And so, yeah, I'll have to stay cleaned up. Fox Whip said, this is your incognito look. That's right. I look different. Like I looked at it today. It's not just, it's just different. Like it's hard for me to say like younger or older. It just looks different. Yeah, something new, something fun to talk about today, right? Hello, happy to start a new week. Are you home during this? Yes, Jesus loves you. Great to have you here on the live stream. I hope you are having a great start to your new week as well. Happy Easter. And yeah, I'm home. No traveling or anything like that. you know, any of the videos that I put out are older content, you know, from when I've traveled. But yeah, we haven't been going anywhere. I just was mentioning because we're local to the Blue Ridge Parkway in this part of Western North Carolina. Last weekend, not this couple days ago, but a week ago, we had gone up in the Blue Ridge Parkway in the car only. Yeah. So yeah, I hope you're doing well also. Sax said, I still get carded at bars. I've got a baby face. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't know what I have. There is a fun app. If you ever go to it, I have to go to my phone because I don't remember the URL. It is called, oh goodness. Oh, okay. How, HOW -old.net. I'll put it in there. How-old.net. It uses Microsoft Azure and a bot to basically upload a picture, and it can tell you how old you are. It's pretty cool because it's pretty accurate on my kids. My wife, they say, looks younger, but a lot of times I look older. And the thing about me is that I tend to laugh and have large facial expressions. So some of the lines I think in my forehead, you know, give off like a little bit of like aging or whatever. And so sometimes, I don't know, I look older. I should try that site again and upload a picture. It's goofy. The family gets a kick out of it because every once in a while I'll take a picture and upload and see what it thinks. Let's see. Rita said, I think things will be back to normal in a couple of weeks. Tough to tell, Rita. You know, we talked about a little bit of that last week. And Blondie says, I hope so. You know, the difficult thing is that until there is the vaccine or an antiviral to combat it for people who've already gotten it, it's tough. It's tough. At least it's tough in my opinion, because do you want to go to a movie theater or to a crowded restaurant or to any of these places? Because, you know, you hear about these people and it's just so hit or miss about how it impacts people. Some people are healthy and they sadly pass away from it. Then there's the knowns of people who are more susceptible to it, either from age or underlying conditions. It just feels risky. I think the way that we're going to interact for the next 12 months is going to change heavily. In either limiting the amount of people that can go into a store, a restaurant, an entertainment complex, any other type of things. You know, masks could be required, testing, temperature taking. Who knows how that happens? But the likelihood that it just all goes back to normal. Remember, this is the logic behind it. The United States, at one point, it only took one person to come to the United States with that virus to make happen what happened today. So even if we get the number of cases down to say less than 1,000 or 500, it's enough to reseed the whole population. So until we have something to combat it, and this is outside my field of expertise, I'm a computer guy, but logic just says, how do we get to a normal that we used to have until there's some medicine and vaccine to combat it? So I don't know. I don't know what you guys think. I would love it. I would love to get back to being able, you know, we have the Ripley's passes for this year and we can't go, you know, because everything's closed down. So I think listen, I'm no expert in any of this stuff. It's just logically trying to go through it in my head. Like, how do we make society start turning the wheels again if this thing is still floating out there and there's no way to cure or combat it? I don't know. I don't know. But I would love it to be able to get back out and enjoy this weather and do fun things. In the interim, trying to make the best of it that we can and be safe. Jesus said, since you asked, I like the clean place and just look up YouTube video for haircut. Not a bad idea, right? And Jesus loves you. Bill, I actually did Google like haircut during like coronavirus just to see what articles were being written and stuff. And a lot of people said the same thing, embrace the bigger hair. Some people already do clippers and have it buzzed. I used to do that years ago, like real short haircut So people who already have that style could do that in the driveway, just have somebody do it for them. Yeah, I did read one person, it's probably because it's their trade. They're like, don't try to cut your own hair. You have no idea how bad if you mess it up, how long it's going to take. But there's the other side of that, which is like, big whoop, just cut it. It'll grow back. Right. Yeah. Oh, wait, Ronald said Cincinnati, Ohio. So that's two cities that have Queen City then. So we got Queen City. We have the Cincinnati is Queen City. That's right. And Charlotte is the Queen City. So Fox Swift said, I don't suggest you run out into John Q Public and test the waters. Yeah, I agree as well. Pamela, welcome to the live stream. Always great to have you here on this Mountain Man Monday live stream. And I hope you're having a great start to your week. Sexy Matt says, I am optimistic there'll be a vaccine. Yes, Sexy Matt, I've been reading news on that. And I mentioned it before, so if anybody's interested, the leading company right now is called Moderna. It's in stage 2 of clinical trials. You've got Johnson & Johnson in stage 1 of clinical trials. You've got multiple companies that are in like stage 1 of the antivirals to combat it for people who have contracted it. There's lots happening. The problem is that you cannot rush these things. They have to go through clinical trials in order to mass produce. So the most aggressive timeline I've heard for vaccine is late this year for emergency for health workers, which means the masses, if you do the math, or the logical thing would be like Q1 of next year for a rollout. I could see us all going to CVS and Walgreens and getting our shot next March or something like that. So that's for the vaccine. So the great news is this will come to an end, right? I mean, it's in the pipe. It's just they can't rush it and just mass produce it now because people could get sick, or even worse, they have to prove out that it works. But they do have a vaccine and they do have antivirus. They're just not available yet because they have to go through all those clinical trials. So it's tough. I keep reading the news. I keep watching it. I keep looking at this stuff. So there is great promise. It's going to take some time. Hey, I like this. I got to scroll back up for that. It says, wear a hat, problem solved. Bingo. That is the truth. I do have a feeling the back of my hair is going to start getting long and curling up. We joked about that last week about a mullet. I don't want to have a mullet, but if I can keep it off my ears, I don't know. I don't know. You're right. You know what? It gets July and it's hot and that hair is going over my ears and stuff. I might be like, just, shave. I don't know. Lily, right? Lily, if I said your name wrong, I'm trying to memorize it, and you can call me incorrectly. I know everybody says your name in all the different live streams, and I apologize, so I will learn. Here in our little town, one person came home from international travel due to a death in the family. Everyone that attended 3 weeks at the funeral home had tested positive. Yeah, super unfortunate, and that just goes to how aggressive this stinker is. It's just, it's nasty. I go out to Walmart and, I got my mask and my gloves, and I've been doing all right because I'm trying to go at off hours and days. So I'm not trying to go Saturday morning when the crowds are there or whatever, trying to go like an hour before close at these places. And right now, to give a report on my experience at the grocery, there's been very few people in there when I've been going at the off times the best I can, which I think has helped my ability to do the social distancing thing. That's really unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear that. Yes, hello to Matt and Christina. Rita says, I guess what I meant was the stay at home will be lifted. I've been in so long I can't think right. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's tough. It's tough for everybody. And I really feel badly for folks in like super confined spaces. There was a time years ago, I lived in a 600 square foot apartment, 1 bedroom, tight quarters. I'm sure some of you might be in that situation, or small, or maybe have a yard, maybe don't have a yard. Maybe you're in a big condo or apartment building. You can't go out and walk, or you can. Everybody's got a little different situation, and it's difficult. And so I just hope people can get out, at least go for a walk, maybe around the block or wherever they live, or something to get a little fresh air, get some sun, have some sanity, right? Because some of that stuff's no fun. Marvin said the county I live in has been very lucky and has had no reported cases. That's awesome, Marvin. The Johns Hopkins site, which reports the global cases, has a map, a heat map. You can scroll in with your mouse, and let me see. I could probably, if anybody, I think John. Oh no, not that. John Hopkins. It's this. Yeah, it's this map. This map, I think I can put in a link in this. That map, that's from Johns Hopkins University. So we're not talking about like a news channel or something. This is official stuff. You can zoom in on the United States to like your county, and it shows how many confirmed cases and how many people have unfortunately passed away and how many people have gotten better from it. That is actively updated. So that's one of the sites that I look at. But boy, I tell you, I have to take the news in dosages because it's too much. I like to focus on the mountains and the weather and you guys and the fun things going on instead of some of this. LMR, where are you? Have the same in my area. Yeah. Oh, wow. St. John's, Newfoundland. That is awesome. That is really cool. I have never been there, and that is way up there. How's the weather up there right now? That must be you guys must have some. That's got to be a great tourist spot, right? Beautiful area, probably in the summer, right? And I mean, that's way out there, up there in the sea. Is that still considered the Atlantic Ocean, or what part? Anyway, I'm trying to get a geography lesson on St. John's right now. That is really cool. You get the place of the day where you're from. Ground Zero in Georgia is from death, funerals, and even minister has died. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, this thing is nasty. Don't like it at all. Hey, David. Hey, everyone. Wow, what a difference a week makes, Mr. Mountain. You talking about my anti-beard here that we were talking about earlier, or you talking about the weather or something else? Feel free to chime in. Yeah, agreed. I would not do the vaccine. The ingredients just in the flu shot are scary. Yeah, I don't know. I everybody's choice on that is a personal choice. It's just right now what's happening is so unfortunate. So at least with something coming in the pipeline, there's a chance for folks who can't fight it off themselves. So I think that's the bigger picture on that right there. For sure. The video of the resort looks super nice. So what Jesus Love You, I believe, is referring to is Cabana Bay, which was in Orlando, Florida. I went there last November. First week of December. They had the Christmas decorations up. That is a very fun place. That was my latest video from last week. It's a really cool, fun atmosphere. Great pricing as far as, Resort Town USA down in Orlando. So if you're looking for an economical, neat place to stay in the area of the parks, it's a pretty good place. The only expensive part about that hotel is parking in the food court. The food court is extremely convenient. You know that place I showed in the video, but it's not cheap. They're making up for the reasonably priced rooms with that food, because like you get a burger and fries and it's like $15. Even though it's a reasonable price. So the idea is that you can come and go as much as you please. Once you pay for parking, go over to iDrive, which is called International Drive, and pick up some food that's more reasonably priced. But sometimes after people have a long day at the parks, they're hot, they're tired, they don't want to. The thing is, you go in there and have essentially like fast food or a step above meal, and a family of 4 or 5 or 6, you're going to spend $50, $75, $100. So that's the only downside. And I didn't really allude to that in the video, but it is a cool place. I really did enjoy watching that again, Bill, and making that. Can you still use the Mountain Man moniker without the beard? I think so, right? Because I'm in the mountains and I'm a mountain man. But I agree, Ronald. I think you're right. and it might be time to grow it back. So yeah, you know what? I welcome comments from the Peanut Gallery today from all of you about yay or nay on the and the beard being gone. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Not on the live stream, but thumbs up, thumbs down in the chat. By the way, quick reminder too. I think we got Blondie in here and some others. I've said before, I don't know because I'm usually a little behind on the comments, and we don't usually get too many trolls because I'm a smaller channel. But I do leave it up to the moderators because I'm usually behind, and I don't have moderator tools here. I meant to look into that, which is weird. StreamYard doesn't allow me to, like, I can click on a comment, but it just says block the user, put the user in timeout. Well, I don't want to do that, but sometimes I just want to remove it. So they don't give me that option, which is weird. So I need the mods to do that for me. But again, maybe we have an ebb and flow. Last week was really popular. I had the last 2 weeks, I had, Will and Chris the week before. I had Chris last week. We had a record number, I think 36 people in my live stream, which was really cool. So when we get more people, we might get some of that going on. Sexy Matt was saying, I've got the flu shot for 3 years and vitamins and no flu. Just say, yeah, I know that's a whole big, back and forth vaccine. Yes, no. I listen, that's not my forte either. It just, at least it gives people a chance for those that want it. So, all I was saying is, it's just really sad what's happening, and a chance for folks to combat that would be a positive thing. Oh, Blondie left. Everyone have a great night. Gotta charge my phone. Okay, so well, I think Sexy Matt, we've got you're the moderator, you're a moderator, so we got people covered. Let's see. Be safe, Blondie. Let's see. Yes, it is. It's way out on the North Atlantic. Yeah, I'll tell you something. Canada, in the northern area, all that, someday there are some areas I would love to travel to. And in no particular order, some of the major cities in Canada, whether it's Toronto, Montreal, Calgary, Vancouver, where you're from, it's St. John's, now whether or not I'm able to do all this traveling, who knows? But listen, when I used to have Disney passes, this is going to sound silly to you, Lily, but there at Epcot was Canada. They had the Canada Pavilion, and I loved Canada. I thought it was so cool, and just that part of the country, world. I'm saying, just in general, just Canada over that way, just in your neck of the woods, but not saying exactly where you're from. But that type of environment, even in the winter, and just some of the beauty and the culture, some of the food, I'm sure it's just beautiful where you're up there. So really, really cool. That's a really awesome fun fact for today. Because we have a lot of people from here in kind of the southeast of the United States, like looking through the list, we got Ohio and Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee. I think that covers most folks, but it's really neat. And nobody has to say where they're from if they don't want to. But if somebody's ever listening in, we used to have a gentleman that would come in from Ireland. Anybody who's from a different part of the globe, just so interested to hear from you all. I always say this channel is welcoming to everyone, from the whole world, and what you like and neat things about your area to chime in. That's always fun to hear as well. Rita asks, are you still working on your Mustang? Yes, I am. And I do have a couple more videos that are, I always mention are less refined that'll go on the Eclectic Handyman channel. To bore you for a minute, I'm working on the, I was putting the brakes back together, and I noticed something called the cross-axis joints, which are these bushings, were completely worn out, and they were really expensive. And I went online, and I was kind of intimidated and thought I'd just buy them and have a mechanic do it. But it turns out that I was able to do it myself. It comes with this tool to push the bushing out of the knuckle, the steering knuckle, and then you can put the new one in. But I was missing a tool. I needed a larger snap ring pliers. I'm probably boring people. I had to order it. The long and the short of that project is that car has been up on jack stands for over a month. That is unheard of for me. Normally it's a weekend project, get the car fixed and drive it again, but I got nowhere to go. So like this weekend, I wanted to put some mulch out in the yard, and I knew I needed to work on the car, but I only have so much time because I'm working during the week. So I've been taking my time on it, and I would love to have it done in the next couple of weeks just so I could drive it again. But yes, I am still working on the car. And but you know, I'm not stressing so much about it, because normally, like, if I wouldn't have a part or a piece or a tool, I'd have to scramble in town and find it. Now I can order what I want or need, and it's been fun. Let me see. Check out some videos I posted during January. Lots of snow. Today was January 38th, but not uncommon to have snow here May, June. So great. You have a channel. If you do, everybody check out LMR Collins 1966. I'm going to pull it up right now. YouTube. Or sorry for, I like to do this. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see, make sure I get the right. I just want to pull it up. I want to pull it up because I don't have the link. If I was in the normal chat, I would see your channel, and I just want to make sure that I get 1966. That's what it was. LMR Collins 1966. And there we go. And subscribe. I will check that out. And I always say for folks to promote, it looks beautiful. Sunday Drive, Fairhaven, a drive downtown, St. John. Wow, look at that snow. You guys got to check that out. So check out LMR Collins, Lily, right? Lily. And that looks really neat. It is so cool to show out. That's one of the cool things about YouTube, is being able to show people everyone's respective neck of the woods. When I first saw you, Mr. Mountain, I thought there was a guest host tonight. Yeah, I know. I look different, right? I don't know. Good, bad, and different. Younger, older. Happy to hear, as I've been saying, I welcome comments from the folks here tonight. Let's see. Oh, jumping down. Some new people here. Oh, look, we got some fun friends here. We've got, and then I'll jump back. We have Chad Loveless. Chad, good to see you as always. And I hope you're having a great start to your week. I also saw, we got Karen Story. Karen, how you doing? I hope you are having a great start to your week, as well as Chris. You like the clean shaven look. And now I look like you, Chris. You and I look, I don't have the glasses on. Looking at your picture, if I smile the same, we could be twins. All right. I'm telling you, we both got clean shaven face now. I don't know if I'm going to keep it, Chris. I don't know. I was just bored and I wanted to spook the kids. And so, something to do and something to mix it up. I see Corgi Lover here. Hi from Michigan. Just started watching your videos. Really enjoy them. I appreciate that. That's really kind of you. And welcome to the live stream. I hope you're having a great start to your week. Hope everything's going well up in Michigan. My guess is, by the people talking, you probably have a mix of spring and winter weather still happening too. And we got so hopefully you're doing all right up there in Michigan. And we also have Fridays Forever. We've been enjoying your channel. I really appreciate that. That's so kind of you to say that. I hope you enjoy the content. A lot of fun videos going back in the catalog and looking at all that stuff. And of course, if you get extra adventurous, you can watch one of the old live streams in the live stream playlist. Matt, that's awesome. Thank you so much for saying that. I appreciate that as always. Oh yeah, Foxy says, have it back by next Monday. That's my beard. Maybe, right? Like, I'm thinking so. David says, twin brother, we are the oldest city in North America. And I believe it, because if you look at a map, you guys are way up in the northeast tip of North America, probably the most northwest tip. Northeast tip, I'm guessing. Sexy Matt, I love the pavilions of Epcot. Great food and fireworks display with the globe on the barge. Might be having something fun coming up, Sexy Matt, that you will enjoy. Epcot was my favorite park. We had annual passes for years down at Disney. I really enjoyed, and I know not everybody, some people here are fans of Disney World and some aren't. Disney World is a really fun topic to talk about, even if you haven't been, just to discuss it, because sometimes the best part about Disney is talking about it and enjoying it without having to go experience the lines and the heat and the price of Central Florida and everything that happens there. But I loved Epcot. As a child of the 80s and stuff growing up, what Future World was and how it was back in the 80s, it has evolved a lot since then. But that was really cool. And the Country Pavilion's just a really, really fun, cool place. I know Dollywood has tried to mimic some parts of Disney World and a lot of flair from Epcot. Epcot has the Food and Garden or the International Festival and the Food and Wine Festival. And I know Dollywood has some events that mimic that as well. And what was the other thing? They some of the rides too, like they have the teacups at Disney, and they have something just like that at Dollywood. These are classic designs, so it's common for other places to enjoy to do that as well. Yes, Sexy Matt. I loved Epcot. Just missed our snowstorm here in Northeast Wisconsin. Cold all week. Can't wait for normal weather to come back. Yes. It's just crazy right now. I mean, the hot, the cold, everything mixing. Thunderstorms. I was talking at the very beginning of this live stream. We had some crazy, nasty thunderstorms last night. Strongest stuff I've witnessed probably since the hurricanes I lived through in Florida. It was really loud and crazy last night. Oh, did I miss Captain T? Oh, no, Captain T. That's our buddy Chris about t-shirts. I thought there was actually somebody in here named Captain T. By the way, that's really cool. We got somebody from Wisconsin here as well. And oh, yeah, you bet. Anybody who has a YouTube channel, feel free to promote it in here. Just drop what you do and what your channel's about, and I'll read it. More than happy to do that. It doesn't have to be a travel and entertainment. Maybe yours is about music, or maybe it's about, who knows, your hobby, or working on cars, or whatever. I don't care. Whatever. Anybody has a YouTube channel that they create videos, feel free to put it in here. I don't mind talking about it. Absolutely, talk about it. Let's see. Oh yeah, Sex Matt says, "Welcome, Corgi lover. I guess you have corgis." Yep, probably. And then, hey, Dale Bush, press the button. Whoa. Coming back. Hey, Mr. Mountain Man and everyone here in the chat. 700 degrees here, almost 5 p.m. Beautiful day. Yes, we too are at, I'm looking at my, it's cooled down a little bit. A little later in the day here, 62 degrees. It was 71 degrees earlier today. Definitely a lot nicer than yesterday. We're supposed to have sun the next 4 or 5 days. Spring is here, but it's going to be cooler at nights, like some 30s and stuff. When was the last time you did not have your beard? You look good either way, by the way. Well, I appreciate the feedback. It's been like 10 years. Like the last time I shaved it off, it was just to see what it looked like. And I didn't shave again, and I let the beard grow right back. My kids don't like it. They want me to grow it back. Wife's indifferent. Feedback I got tonight is you could go either way. I was kind of interested in the younger, older, not because I'm trying to go either way. It's just conventional wisdom says beards make you look older. But I'm not sure if I look older or younger like that, or no different. I'm just look like a different person. Like could be I don't have a brother, but could be like a brother or something like that. Like you're lucky, Dale. I'd take that weather any day. Yeah. Well, Chad, you'll get nicer weather, especially in the summer. Although I know the Midwest up there can get blazing hot. I've been to Minneapolis, which is as cold as it can get. But you go June, July, or sometime then, humid, mosquitoes are terrible, and it could be 100 degrees. So you're talking crazy ends of the spectrum up in that part of the country. You can be -20 or 100. Think of that spectrum. That's crazy. It's just nuts. I watched one of your Myrtle Beach videos yesterday. I'd really like to go there sometime. Marvin, Myrtle Beach is a lot of fun. I lived at the beach in Florida. I like Myrtle Beach better than the beaches in Central Florida. There are some beautiful beaches in Florida, but the Grand Strand, as they call it in Myrtle Beach, and that white sand and the entertainment. I've often said, and you've heard me say, because a lot of people on here know about the entertainment of the Smoky Mountains, so like Pigeon Forge. Myrtle Beach has like a Pigeon Forge feel to it, over on the coast. And so, yeah, it's a great, there's something for everyone. You can just be quiet and chill out and get a little bit away, enjoy the beach. You can go out to dinner and have a tremendous seafood, or you can go to buffets, you can putt-putt and shows and shopping and blah, 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 blah. It just goes on and on. There's so much to do, so much to spend your money on. Dale says, I'm grateful for the weather. Yeah. Let's see here. Cape Spear is the most easterly point here, just 10 minutes from town. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah. And, you know, the picture is just looking at St. John's, you know, beautiful, diverse colors and St. John's of the buildings and such. It looks really cool. I went to Disney World for my high school band trip, got to see the underground tunnels. That's cool. Yeah, so if people aren't familiar, Disney World, at Disney World, the Magic Kingdom is actually built like a full like 20 feet. So when you're walking in the main park, you're actually above the bottom, which is where all the employees walk around and garbage is done and all the behind the scenes stuff. So they have this really pristine look up top. It seems to be like common sense that you would do it, but it's kind of ingenious from an engineering standpoint from when they did that. So you didn't have to see, you know, all the behind the scenes stuff that was happening. Karen, I'm happy to. I smile. I have a smiley face. Let's see here. Hey, Chris and Mindy. Yes, and if Mindy's there, tell her we said hello. To be Mr. Mountain Man, I think you got to have a beard. I think so, right? I'm like Mr. like Foothills Man or something right now, right? I'm the Foothills Man. I do not. I haven't earned my title, right, with my clean shaven face. So I used to have a huge mustache. I've told you guys about that a few times. I have to get a picture of that. I'll try to get it on my phone so I can show you guys. You won't believe it. I mean, it was a honking mustache, not like a regular mustache. Rita said, I'm showing you up to 417 subscribers. Are you showing more? No, I think that's about right. 400 and some change. Did I say I had more? I don't think I have more. I don't know what that was referring to, but that's about right. I think how many subscribers that the this channel has right now. And I appreciate every single one of you. And I hope you are enjoying it. I hope it's great entertainment. I hope it's something fun to watch on your phone or in the background or places you're going to go, or just a neat perspective, my perspective on stuff. You know, you might find 20 videos on the same topic, but a lot of the fun of YouTube is somebody's independent opinion and perspective on that same place. So, you know, this channel is as much about me and having fun and interacting with you all as it is the content and the places that I go. So I'm thankful to every one of you. I really mean that. Appreciate it. I have fun. Have fun. I look forward to this Mountain Man Monday stream. And right now it's one of my primary outlets for adult social interaction. I have to make sure my PC is plugged in. Sorry. Why is that not? Sorry. Let me just make sure it said my PC. Let me just double check. I do not want this cutting out. Yes. What is going on? Scrambling. What's going on here? Sorry. 19% remaining. Why is my plug not working? Let me try oh, goodness gracious. There we go. This plug on my Surface, I apologize for the interruption, is a magnet. And it fooled me because it was stuck to it, but it wasn't actually plugged in. Good gracious. So I hope, you know what, every week I was telling you that last week I figured out why the stream was bad, because I don't have great internet. And I went upstairs when I was done and the family was streaming Disney Plus. Well, Disney Plus is on the internet and that's like 4K streaming too. So it was eating up my bandwidth. So I apologize when everybody last week was like, you're coming in blurry. It was specifically because of that. So it seems like one thing's off. Like 6 weeks ago, I forgot to plug into Ethernet, and Ethernet is stronger in the house than Wi-Fi just from the coverage. So it's like every week, one little thing, and I try to be thorough. So hopefully this battery thing didn't mess up. Thank goodness it didn't cut off on me. Sorry if I missed anyone's response to me. I'm just driving and listening. Yes, please. If you're ever driving, don't ever look at the chat. Just listen like the radio or a podcast or something like that. Karen, thank you. That's very kind of you to put that. I like that, by the way. That's very creative. Hammer the thumbs up. I like that. That's really cool. Maybe I'll borrow that from you. I'll give you full credit because that's a really cool way of putting it. Tracy, good evening. Saxy, do you have your sax? Not set up. Saxy Matt, I don't know if you'd be interested, maybe you or Marvin or something, maybe sometime to join in and play. If you're ever interested in that, you know, those split screen things, we'll have to maybe do that in the future. If you're interested, you don't have to if you don't want to. They need to hook up with and do the interview with you talking about the channel. I missed who, David, and don't feel like you got a text if you're driving. Maybe one of the other channels. I always enjoy talking about the channel and stuff. Thanks for the shout out. Much appreciated. Got to run. Take care and take care. Oh, thanks. I appreciate you stopping by. Lily, I hope you have a great evening. And Karen put there my Mr. Mountain Man Twitter link, which please enjoy. And it's a way I communicate and show my videos. And I do post some interesting information from Western North Carolina and other stuff, sometimes from East Tennessee and other fun things. You can just read it. So if you go to that link, you don't have to join Twitter. If you're like, I've never used Twitter, you can just read. You don't have to sign up for anything. So anyway, thank you for posting that, Karen. I appreciate that. And thank you to the mods again, because I don't have mod tools in this. I need to look into that and figure out how to do that. That is neat, Sexy Man. I never knew they had tunnels, but that makes sense. Some ballparks have tunnels and underground stuff as well, correct? I believe so. Well, definitely, right? The dugout goes over to the locker room and stuff like that. And, you know, they're typically going under. So I would assume so. Chris has seen it. Your mustache was one of the best ever. I got to get the picture. It seems like, you know what happens with me is like I get all these ideas about things to talk about. Not that it's difficult. There's so much fun stuff to talk to you all about. But I think about this throughout the week, and I think about that, and I should jot down notes, and then I forget. As soon as the stream's over, I'm like, oh, I meant to bring this up and bring that up and show them this and show them that. So I need to get a little more organized about my live stream topics. Again, there's never a shortage of things to talk about with y'all because I really enjoy your company and talking to you, but there are some things I'm always like 2 minutes after I finish, I'm like, and then I forget. So one of them was showing a picture of the mustache. And they take out the dead bodies. And yes, sometimes there is a dead body in Disney. On the dark side of things, there actually is like a book written about, unfortunately, the people that have passed away at Disney World. It's not a ton, but there have happened some mechanical failures and some things in dark past. There is kind of the, you know, unknown parts of Disney. Lots of interesting stuff at Disney World. Are you calling us adults? Yes, tongue in cheek, Chris, I'm calling you adults, right? So we're all a lighthearted group here. Saxy Matt says, stand by. No, you didn't say more. I was just wondering if it showed more on your end. I think it's great how it's growing so fast. Yeah, I'm humbled by it, and the best that I can do to commit to that is make an enjoyable place for us to communicate in separated parts of the world, as Lily had shown, and people from Wisconsin and Georgia and Ohio and North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, and all these fun places that everybody's from, and provide you some fun videos, again, that my perspective on some of these things, and informative as well, because there are places I have been a lot, like obviously living in Western North Carolina. That is the root of this channel. So when people say, what is your channel about? It's based in the mountains, and 60, 70, 80% of my content is going to be about the mountains and neat places in the mountains and things happening. But there are other places I've gone and know about too, Myrtle Beach and Disney World. And then when it does get back to, normal and I have to travel again, there's some other cool places I occasionally go to, and I may not know as much about them, but they're still interesting to capture and just, you know, talk about, just have, you know, a little bit of fun stuff. Yes, I love conversation here. Everyone's different experience on anything, and I can enjoy the differences. Exactly right. Like I've used Disney a lot because there are 1,000. I'm probably not off, by the way. There is easily 1,000 channels that YouTube creators that cover Disney World. It's the angle that they do. It's the opinions and how they do it. And there are lots of people, you know, covering Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge and some of these other areas in North Carolina. And so it's just everybody's unique way to shoot and perspective and opinion and all the fun stuff and new places and all that kind of stuff and hidden gems. It's really cool. Oh, yeah. Ronald said your live stream with Yankee in the South and Chris about t-shirts, you should incorporate that more often. Absolutely. This week, I just figured, you know, one-on-one, because I hadn't done it in 3 weeks. I had guests the last 2 weeks. To be honest with you, I could probably do a guest every week. I really enjoy talking to actually having a fluid dialogue, because when you reflect on a live stream like this, where it's just me, I'm just talking to you via text that I'm reading on the screen. So I do enjoy having others to talk to. I think it's great. So that was the way that I mentioned that we'll be setting up. Once I get organize my thoughts and get some more ideas, if anybody's ever interested in being, you know, talking here, that would be fun. So the way we could do that is, you know, follow me on Twitter. You would have to have an account, and then you can direct message me privately, you know, an email address that I can send to you the link for it. Sexy Matt says it's an idea. Cool. Hey, and Crystal C, we got Crystal C here. Hello, Mr. Mountman, and hello to you. I hope you're having a great start to your week and having a great day. It's always nice to see you. Ronald says Myrtle Beach rocks. It does. It really has a lot of fun stuff. Family wants to go back there. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if it's going to happen this year just because of everything that's going on, but something to look forward to in the future. Ronald says, happy to have you aboard. Chris is always fun. I love having Chris here. And Chris is a good guy, good friend, and great channel as well. I'm sure everybody here has seen his channel. And if you haven't, just going through here, the people that I know that have channels, you know, we had Lily with Alan Mark Collins, 1966 earlier, Chris about t-shirts. I believe Karen has a channel, but correct me if I'm wrong, that does videos from time to time. There's some folks that I haven't seen here in a while that have channels as well. Sexy Matt has a channel. Trying to see who else has a channel. Anyway, always feel free to promote anything. I'd settle for any beach about now, but yes, Myrtle is great. You know, Dale, it's going to get to the point where you're going to have to buy one of those little pools from Walmart, dump a couple of 10-pound sandbags on the outside, and make a beach in the driveway. Because yeah, it's crazy right now. Just with everything that has to happen. You know, it's interesting though about the beach. You can spread out at the beach, you know, potentially, especially in remote beaches that are less populated. So it'll be interesting to see this summer, you know, if certain beaches have people, but they tend to stay further apart. It does help to have a handsome guest host. Yes, Chris, case in point, when you were here physically last week on this live stream, I had double the amount of people here. So people love you. People love your good looks. People love your singing. People just love you, period. And so I honestly, I play second fiddle to Chris when Chris is on here. So I need to have Chris and some other people on here more. And thank you, Karen, again, for posting the Twitter, Mr. Mountain Man. Link right there. The important part is the Mr. Mountain _man. Somebody had already taken Mr. Mountain Man. There is an imposter. Although, as David said today, maybe I'm the imposter because I don't have my beard growing. And so, yeah, I'm not. Yeah, that's right, Dale. So no, I love the ability to have other people on and hear their take and hear about their channel and their experiences and such. And Chris is trying to be humble. You were the king. I was lucky to hang out with you. I really enjoyed, and you guys have heard me say the time that I've got to actually hang out with Chris. Unfortunately, it's been since last fall for one reason or another when we did the Apple Festival. For those of you new to the channel, that was a fun video. We are in apple country here in Western North Carolina. So in the fall, all the different types of apples grow, and they have a festival in Hendersonville, North Carolina, and it's called the Apple Festival. The Apple Festival is pretty cool. Downtown Hendersonville is a really cute, fun town, 25 to 30 minutes south of Asheville, North Carolina. That is a great place to visit when in Western North Carolina. As with any of these festivals, if I'm to be honest, and I'm not poo-pooing it, you know, you got to have people that pay to make it happen. So you have a lot of booths that are just a whole lot of advertising and nothing exciting, you know, some insurance company or some realty, or I don't know, just, you know, but if you pick through it, then you can find the Apple vendors and the Apple ice cream, and there's some entertainment for the kids and some live entertainment, but laced within, and there's shopping and some neat local stuff. But there's also a bunch of, like, you know, here's a canned koozie and a pin from, you know, I don't know, whatever, some boring place. So, but anyway, I digress. It was a really fun thing to hang out with Chris and to actually, Will and Don were there too. Chris and Mindy, Dan the Mountain Man. I haven't seen Dan around here in a while, but those folks were all there. We actually bumped into Dan the Mountain Man, who's also in Western North Carolina, and got to see these folks. Oh, I didn't know that. Chris, about t-shirts, you were awesome. Karen, story, you were awesome to get to hang out with. Inform me, I didn't know. Did I haven't been at every single live stream because life is busy. Did you get to hang out with Karen, Chris, like in person, or are you talking about a live stream? And yes, Dale Bush, good night, and thank you for. Oh, sorry, I pressed it twice. Thank you for joining the live stream tonight. Yeah, that's cool because Karen is a mainstay of the community, a moderator just about on every channel, highly respected. And but I have not met Karen in person. I don't know if Karen has been to Gatlinburg or got to hang out. But if there was a live stream that you were in, Karen, let me know because I will have to. Oh, you had dinner together. No video proof. That makes me think. You remember how people used to say like 10 years ago, like pictures or it didn't happen. So, so Chris, you're lying. You're lying, man. You didn't get to hang out with Karen. Do you have her autograph? I mean, but no, that's really cool. Karen is really super friendly, fantastic individual here in the entire community and here on the Mr. Mountain Man channel. And I really appreciate what you do with the moderation and supporting the channel. Does Chris About T-shirts have a channel? He did, but it got taken down by YouTube because of the content. No, I'm just joking. Chris has, yeah, Chris, he says he's starting one. Chris, you had a live stream recently, and I missed it, and I apologize. Things are can get busy, understandably so. So thank you for. I'll have to check that out too, and just some awesome pictures of Karen and her daughter. So you do have proof. Yeah, Chris, you should get that channel started, and whenever you want to have a live stream and you want this clean-shaven face to show up on your end, we'll have to do that sometime as well. We kept talking about someday before this weirdness happened about working out together and doing a fun video. That would be cool. I watched an interesting YouTube video yesterday about price gouging for fitness equipment, because right now fitness equipment is at a premium because all the major retailers are kind of sold out for. So on the secondary market of Facebook Marketplace and eBay, they're going for like 3x costs. And somebody made a video on whether or not that was appropriate. And the creator's take was that it's fine because it's not essential goods like toilet paper or food or something like that. And so it's a supply and demand and, you know, economics. And so if people want to sell stuff, get what you get for it. I was telling somebody last week, they said they gave away a set of weights, but seriously, like if you have old weights or fitness equipment in your garage, especially if it's shippable, and you don't use it and you're looking to make money, sell it on eBay. You don't have to talk to anybody. You just have to get it shipped. The stuff I bought came in those, those U.S. Postal Service boxes that you pay one price and you can put as much weight as you want. People are taking advantage of that because you can put a lot of weight in there. So seriously, if you have like some old rusty weight plates in the garage, like a few 10-pound weights or something, you might get $100 for it. It's crazy. So anyway, if you don't, you guys are probably getting bored of me talking about that. But seriously, like, it's a great time. Like, if there's some old dusty equipment in the garage or in the basement, sell it. Make a little money because it's at a premium right now. Yeah, we had fun meeting Chris and Mindy and Will and Dawn. Oh, that's cool. That's really good that you got to get together, Karen. Saxy said, YouTube said t-shirts were a no-no. I know. Chris, are you going to take off your t-shirt in a video? You got to do that, man. Like, rip off the t-shirt and like, Chris Mount t-shirts. That should be your intro, and just flex, and then you'll get like 10,000 views on that. That'd be pretty cool. I know Chris's rabbit Stevie has his own channel. Now, I wouldn't put that past you. I don't know if that's a joke or not, because people do that. People have channels for their pets. So if there is, maybe that was a joke. I don't know. Chris, do you have a channel for your rabbit? Have I been to Blowing Rock? I have been to Blowing Rock. I want to go back to Blowing Rock. It's a beautiful place. I have not been there to take any videos, but I will be going back there sometime. That's a beautiful place on the eastern side of the Blue Ridge Mountains here in still western North Carolina, Ronald. So that is a fantastic place to visit. There are so many beautiful places. You guys hear me. I'm kind of the representative of this side of the mountains in western North Carolina. There is so much beauty in North Carolina and fun places to go. So if for people that it's not about, kind of the go-karts and the dinner shows and the putt-putt and stuff like that, where people want more of nature and hiking and dining and history and culture and scenic and cabins and stuff, Western North Carolina has all that. And so there are a plethora of places in history and culture here that are almost unending. And I look forward to going to all those and sharing them with you. It's called Chris About Coloring Easter Eggs. It's funny you mentioned that, because one of my kids wanted to do the Easter egg coloring this year, and I forgot to buy a kit, and I felt badly. And they're only like $1, but I forgot to do it. I bet you they're on sale for like 25 cents now. Maybe I'll do it later. Hard-boiled eggs, color them classic. Dave Markley, she knows she is so popular, and she is rude about it. Foxy Wolf, it was fun coloring eggs with everyone. Yeah, maybe Chris, is that what you did in the live stream? I should have sent away for you to give me some of those coloring kits. I feel bad, because I thought of a bunch of stuff, but I didn't think about that this year. Will the national park open back up when the rest of the country opens back up, or do they have some sort of timeline? Not that I heard, Chad. For Great Smoky Mountains National Park, I also mentioned Shenandoah National Park up in Virginia on the other side of the Blue Ridge Parkway. I don't think anybody has a set plan right now. There's a lot of people guessing, rollout of some activity generally in May. Some say June, some say July. It's just so hard to tell right now. Tracy says, good night, everyone going to Yitz. And good night. I had a lot of colors. I had a lot of colors I would have shared. Yeah. I mean, it's so fun. You kind of get into it, right? I'm sorry I missed live stream, but you dip a little bit of one egg, and then if you can get the stripe, so you kind of like put it in a second color, and then you take it back in the little holder, and then you can put the third color. I think 3 is probably the most I've had, like 3 colors. And if you get it right, it looks pretty cool. The problem I had last year is they would bleed a little bit, like the colors would run down. So yeah, that's the challenging part. Stevie the bunny is too fast to be captured on film. That's right. And that's the perfect time of the year to have a bunny, right? That's like the Easter bunny. And Tracy says, I will see you soon. And Chris said, I'm sure you will. Chris says, I will see you next t-shirt. And that's true. So with that, I think this is a good place to wrap up this Mountain Man Monday live stream. I want to thank everybody for coming, especially all the regulars that are here and support the channel every week. I enjoy thoroughly talking to you all. I enjoy hearing about what's happening in your neck of the woods, what's going on in your part of the country. and everything that's happening here in the mountains. I'd like to convey that to you as well. I appreciate all the new subscribers to the channel. As always, I do archive the live streams. They are available in the live stream playlist, but I do keep the last few active on the channel under the videos tab. So, yes, and you know what? It's funny, Chris. Good night, Mr. Mountain Mom, if you were in here too. I don't know why my mom hasn't joined in a few weeks. Maybe it's because I didn't give her the chair that one time, which, by the way, I had no idea she would do that. Like, they came in here and I had chairs over here, and but they were out of the way. The chairs were there for them out of the way, and she came over here and wanted to read the comments, which I thought was great. But I was so interacting with this that I didn't have 2 and 2. So that's like the ongoing joke. So maybe she didn't come back because of that. But my parents are doing well, Les. And I sent them a text the other day. So I appreciate it. Rita, Foxy, Marvin, Chad, Karen, Chris, did I say Matt, Tracy, David Bush, David Markley, Crystal C, Pamela was hanging out here a little bit tonight, and scrolling on up. Marvin Carlton is always first in, and always appreciate him hanging out. Foxy Wolf, Jesus Loves You, and the others that were in the background listening. I appreciate you all as well. Everybody have a great week. Thank you for hanging out tonight. I will see you next time on another Mountain Man Monday live stream. Good night, everyone. Take care. And Ronald Golden. Thank you.